So whenever a big time program like Ohio State wins a national championship, especially in the way they did, there is going to be a lot of overhaul and change with guys going to the draft, guys transferring in and out, looking for different opportunities, and I think the pros are really underestimating what the Buckeyes have coming through the pipeline. We all know about the receivers, but even outside of that, Ohio State has way more talent than the 20th ranked recruiting class in the nation, which is around where they were ranked for some of the later years in 2026 and 2027. I know this title may trigger some people because there really is nothing else for the Buckeyes to prove because they won a championship, but the Buckeyes have some unreal talent on the way. There really could be like 2 or 3 more Jeremiah Smiths coming up through the system, but it's not just the receivers. There are 5-star linemen scheduled to make their official visits, corners, linebackers, really everything. So in this video, I want to talk about and break down why the future of Ohio State football is in great hands. But before I begin, I would really appreciate it if you would drop a like and subscribe. It only takes 5 seconds, plus you can always change your mind. We are on the road to 50,000 subscribers, and with your support, I believe that we can get there super fast. Definitely is more with Ohio State is Felix Ojo, a 5-star tackle that is one of, if not the best in the country. He will be visiting the weekend of May 30th, and OSU will be the second school that he visits after Ole Miss. Ojo has 3 other official visits scheduled. After the Buckeyes, he'll visit Michigan, unfortunately, Texas, and Oklahoma. That means that Ohio State has their work cut out for them. They have to make a really good impression to make sure they are still on top of his list after he sees the other 3 schools. But Ojo is from Texas, so they are the leaders in the clubhouse to land him. NIL has changed how things go, of course, and that package could be the deciding factor. 274 pounds, Ojo is a big guy who has a lot of potential. The Buckeyes really do need to make sure that they land one of these big time tackles that they are in on. They need to get better depth up front for sure. A common criticism of former offensive line coach Justin Frye's recruiting style from fans and analysts alike often was how small the target board was. Not that there's anything wrong with zeroing in on a select few players you're really high on, but once you strike out on them, it makes it very difficult to secure any fallback options. A few weeks into offensive line coach Tyler Bowen's tenure at Ohio State, it doesn't seem like that trend will continue. Bowen has offered several offensive linemen since arriving in Columbus, including 3 in 2 days, all of which are in the 2026 recruiting class. First is Kevin Obit. Sorry if I said his name wrong. Bowen offered the top prospect in the state of Idaho on Thursday. And he is a 4-star. And per 247 Sports composite rankings, Obit is considered the number 147 prospect and the number 12 offensive tackle. And Kelvin himself was thankful for the offer, making a tweet that said, "Absolutely an honor to announce that I have received an offer from the reigning national champs, Ohio State." Next up, we have Claude Mpua. Bowen went to the land of Lincoln for his second offensive tackle offer, offering the 4-star Chicago product a chance to be a Buckeye. Mpua is considered the number 181 and so many others. It would be annoying if I listed them all, so I'm not going to do that. And then another player that got an offer was Deacon Schmidt, who is considered an interior offensive lineman, not a tackle, but he's 6'5" and 310 pounds, a big prospect, someone with a lot of upside. So yeah, that's kind of what's up with the line. This was not the point of this video because these are just offers, but let's take a look at some of the top of the line real deal recruits. There are some rumors swirling around right now that a new highly touted quarterback is pushing to join Ohio State. Julian Sayin is the top returning quarterback from Ohio State's national championship roster. The program will also have 5-star signal caller Tavian St. Clair arriving in the 2025 recruiting class, but 2026 4-star quarterback Derek Zammit does not sound worried about a little competition. Zammit shared with On3.com's Alex Gleitman on Thursday how meaningful it would be to get an offer from Ohio State. If Ohio State offered, it would be awesome. I'd definitely be interested, Zammit said. I'd for sure try to get out there this spring if offered to play with those guys like Jones and Stewart. Again, it would be incredible. Those guys are like brothers to me, and if we got the chance to play together in college, man, that would be awesome. Anyways, now moving on, let's talk about Chris Henry Jr. He is still committed to Ohio State and said he was going to remain loyal, but commitments in today's world of college football don't mean much anymore. But either way, whatever happens, he is just another name and another 5-star that the Buckeyes are tied to. Here is the deal on him if you're unfamiliar. He's a big receiver with a rare combination of size, athleticism, and coordination as a young prospect. He measured in at over 6'4.5" and around 185 pounds prior to his sophomore season, and he tests as a strong athlete, posting an electronically timed 4.65 second 40-yard dash at Under Armour's Ohio camp. He really flashes outstanding functional movement skills at his size, with the ability to sink his hips and change direction with ease. He projects as a high-level route runner as he continues to progress, and he's not overly long for his height, which you don't want to be as a receiver. But so far, he has flashed good ball skills and catch radius. He has a strong pedigree as the son of late NFL wide receiver Chris Henry, and he projects as one of the top receivers early on in the 2026 cycle. I know right now is kind of like a dead time in college football in terms of recruiting, but when things heat up in a few weeks and months, it's going to be a wild west out there. I almost think what's happening in college football right now is unsustainable, because commits don't even have to actually commit. They can still go around on visits. Players are making so much money that they want to stay in college instead of going pro, and players are finding new teams the instant that things don't work out. I don't think what's happening right now is going to be able to sustain itself without any regulation, but hey, college football is making more money than ever, and the new playoff format has made things super interesting, and there has never been a better time to be an athlete. I know I'm kind of going way off topic right now, but I just feel like 10 years from now, we're going to see two different leagues. One for the big schools and one for the smaller schools. Because if you're the Rutgers, if you're Maryland, if you're Purdue, what is even the point of trying to compete when your best player would not even start on the Ohio State roster? When your best player would not even start on the Ohio State roster, or even like Oregon's roster or Georgia. Each guy is going to take the most money. I mean, who wouldn't? So these schools that are already not at the top have no chance. And the gap between those schools and schools like Ohio State and Georgia are only getting bigger and bigger. And who even knows? It would not surprise me at all if in 5 years, college football just operates like a professional league and teams are making trades, all that stuff. Yeah, it seems unlikely because that's not what college football is and it's not the culture, but at this point, nothing would surprise me. But either way, the future of Ohio State football is super bright. They are at the point where year in and year out, there are at least 5 stars out on the field at all times on both sides of the football. And I expect another championship soon. I don't think it's going to be a decade-long wait, but let me know what you guys think in the comments below. That's really all I have to say for this video. Thank you all so much if you made it to this point, and if you enjoyed and want to see more Ohio State content like this in the future, and as we get closer to the 2025-26 football season, please be sure to subscribe and hit that bell noti so you don't miss another video, and let me know what you would like to see next, and until then, I will see you all later.